Hi, everybody. Welcome to Bulletproof Underwear, episode number 189. Ah! I'm your co-host, Yam Juice.
And I'm your co-host, Flex.
And today, we've got for you a very special surprise, a young fellow who's from the UK. He has got a very young YouTube channel, but he is making waves and making a mark as a vlog sort of a dude. He's very interesting and intelligent and articulate. None other than JD Talks. Yeah!
Thanks for having me on, boys. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, well, glad to have you. It's like, I'm not sure where I found your videos. And then I saw that Skag was also following you. So it's like, whoa. So when did you find Skag?
I found him, I think, through Eddie the Chump, who I'm pretty sure you know. Like, I've been following him for a long time. So I watched like the podcast show and stuff. Then I went to watch Lag Comp. And then I found him through that, and I just found him really entertaining, to be honest.
Right.
He's got a lot to say.
He does. He had a viral video that went big time.
Defense of Nicole.
Yeah, defense of Nicole Arbor. I mean, I think that video it's well over 200,000 views.
Yeah, I think it's like 200, which is it's big, real big.
Dang. It's like, now I'm getting an echo. Let's see. What's going on here? Okay, I think we're cool. So, yeah. So he was on the podcast show, or no, Eddie was on the podcast. He was on LagComp podcast, Skag was, and then he was on Triggered.
Yeah.
Did you see any of that stuff where he ended up quitting Triggered?
I've seen bits of it, but from what I've heard, it was quite toxic and all that sort of stuff, and I want to enjoy watching that sort of thing, so I think I watched enough to kind of get an idea of what was. I just kind of tried to stay. I didn't want to say anything that might really piss people off.
Yeah.
It was I can see why he left.
Well, I supported him leaving it. I was surprised that.
I kind of.
Okay, you froze up for a second here. Are you still on?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay. Yeah, Skype is being a bitch as usual.
Transatlantic stuff, you know.
Transatlantic. Through the miracle of the modern day's technology, we have this call where we're talking on video to jolly old England.
Not so jolly at the moment, to be honest. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm in California. I'm in the Oakland Bay Area.
I'm in Minnesota. I'm in southern Minnesota,
Nice.
in the middle of the United States. It's cold.
Yeah, real cool.
Yeah.
Very, very cold.
So where are you located?
I'm in the southeast. It's sort of I'm south of London. I can get into London in half an hour if I want to. So
Cool.
It's nice. It's real cool.
Cool. So you have a very interesting English accent. You have what I would consider a posh accent.
Yeah, I'd accept that. I mean, a lot of people around here, like it's the wealthy part of England, right? So I think if you go to the sort of education I've gone to, I'm really lucky and stuff that I've got enough money to go to like good school, that sort of thing. But yeah, I think you shouldn't judge people on accents and stuff, and I'm not saying that you are. Like, I'll accept that I sound posh. I don't really care, sort of thing. It's like just upbringing and stuff like that.
Right. Well, can you do a like an impression of a different kind of an English accent?
I doubt it. To be honest.
Can you do like a Cockney London accent?
What Cockney rhyming slang? I highly doubt it. To be honest, that's just not. I'm so poor at like accents and stuff.
Yeah. Well, we know a couple of people from Yorkshire.
Oh right,
Yorkshire
okay,
area. Yeah, they sound very, very different.
Yeah, our accents are really regional. Like, I mean, certainly from my point of view, looking over at the States, there's a sort of a northern accent and a southern accent, and there's not much else. I mean, I don't know if that's true or not, but certainly from what I've seen on TV, I know that's not the most reliable resource, but it's quite similar in terms of like space and that. Like, you seem to sound relatively similar in accents and stuff.
Okay. Well, I don't know. There's California, like surfer dudes.
Yes,
and,
yeah, you know.
Oh, dude, that was so cool.
Anywho. So you have a YouTube channel and you talk about a lot of things. Now you're a gamer.
Yeah, I like playing. I play with my mates and stuff.
You're primarily Call of Duty.
Yeah, I'd say so. I play mainly that, but obviously with the way the franchise has been going, I've been having to play other stuff. Like when Advanced Warfare was in its prime, Battlefield 4 sort of came to the rescue. I really enjoyed that. I think shooters in general, I generally quite like. They just seem to appeal to me for whatever reason.
Okay. Well, Flex is a bit of a Battlefield 4 guy himself.
Yeah, I play some Battlefield.
Yeah, it's a fun game, especially with mates and stuff. You can really wreck people.
It's different. It's something different, you know.
Yeah.
And I like the vehicles.
Yeah, they're cool. I suck in them. Like the jet, I cannot fly for anything, but...
Well, I can't fly. I can drive, but I can load up a Jeep with C4 and run it into a tank and blow that bitch up right now.
Yeah. So I kind of liked Advanced Warfare. I mean, it was okay, but for some reason, I just lost interest. I mean, it's like I couldn't put my finger on anything that like I hated about it. It's just I sort of stopped playing. Well, okay, so what did you hate about Advanced Warfare?
The first, 3 months of it, sort of thing, I liked the variants, but then they had brought in the advanced supply drops. It basically became a pay-to-win. And that's why I don't like games like FIFA and that, because it's basically whoever spends more money on the game does better. And it just sort of became, well, I have no chance against you because you spent £300 on supply drops.
Did you get your Obsidian Steed?
No, I spent... Oh, this was on the 360, so I didn't get all the extra weapons and stuff. But I legitimately got one. I got the AK-12 RIP, and that was it. That was the only...
I always wanted that one. I never did get it.
But the game ran pretty badly on... It was only... Obviously, the 360, I think, is only 30 FPS. So if you had a slightly dodgy connection or whatever, you struggled. It was just horrible.
I can imagine. Oh, my.
Yeah,
well, it's weird. Is like the old Call of Duty games on the 360, they all ran at 60 frames.
Yeah, I know. It just felt wrong. You know, it didn't feel like a COD to me. I think the last COD, apart from Black Ops 3, which I personally like, but I'm not sure if you do or not. But Advanced Warfare and Ghost, they just felt different from the stuff that I'd gone to really like as a franchise.
Okay, so what's your favorite?
Probably Black Ops 2. I mean, I've got all the DLC for it, which helps. All my friends played it. I mean, the zombies is really good. I mean, I'm personally into that. I think having a good third... But I prefer Treyarch to Infinity Ward. I think, just for me, they are a bit more fun.
Yeah. I agree. So Infinity Ward is, in the news lately in Call of Duty land. It's like they're talking about they can't wait to show us what they're working on.
Big announcement, man! Brand new, not a sequel, a brand new game. They're promising us.
Whether they did Ghost 2 and MW4, just because I think it'd be quite funny, more than internet.
Wow, we're losing your mic here. We didn't hear that last.
Oh, sorry. I'd prefer them to do Ghost 2.
Ghost 2. Oh my God. The word ghost is so like there's so full of negative connotations. I seriously doubt that they would ever make a Ghost 2 because Ghost 1 just was like cringe.
I think with Ghost, you know, when you with the loading screen, you've got the map that you see, like that you're going to play on. Pretty much every one, you could cut it in half, or like with Stonehaven, you could cut.
Yeah.
It would have been a good map, and the game would have played so much better.
Oh my God, Stonehaven! It's a jogging simulator.
Hiking simulator too.
You could play Battlefield on that.
Yeah, you could. You could put in, I don't know, the buggies, and it would work. you had what? You had Stormfront, Siege, and Stonehaven. Were
I hated all
horrible.
3 of those maps.
It's like if it could be fun. Like you played on Strike Zone, which was like the small one. It was like a market thing. I don't know. If people weren't playing like absolute tools, it could be quite fun. But you had the guy just sitting in a corner with like an M27 or something, and it just was unplayable.
Well, you know what it is, don't you? Yam's a pussy. He didn't like Ghosts or Advanced Warfare because he was no good at them.
Well, it's true though. I wasn't as good at those games as I was in other games.
You weren't getting the KD, man.
It's quite like you look at a lot of the people who had like 3 KD plus, 4 KD plus on old cards. They're running at like a 2.5 now.
Right.
It's like the game has changed in terms of the meta, I guess, with the new movement and that.
Well, what I have the problem with Black Ops 3 is the specialists.
I've heard that a lot. Yeah.
Some guy whoops out his gravity spikes and like, oh, you're fucked. You're just totally fucked.
Much. Yeah.
You know, or you know, any number of them. There's so many like one hit insta kill things that there's no defense for, and you have no idea who's got it. At the very least, they should have something on the player that indicates, or on the heads up display that okay, you're approaching a guy who's got a charged specialist or something, so you can like prepare for it.
I think it would be like they would be good if they sucked. If you were bad at the game, you sucked with them. But if you were good, they would get you a lot of kills. And I think if you earned them, because like the bar goes up, you could be going like 0-20 and get your gravity spikes and get a lucky 3 kills. If say you got 10 kills, you would get your gravity spikes, and then the better it was, the more kills it would require for you to get to be able to use it, sort of thing.
Well, I still don't like it. I still don't like it. I hope to hell that we never see it in another game, but I think that's the problem I had with Destiny. You know, did you play that?
No, I've seen footage of it, and it just kind of looks meh. Like, it's not worth the £45 to buy it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's still fairly popular. I mean, if you look at Twitch, you know, viewers, it's like it's pulling in some viewers.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a bad game. I think The Taken King was quite a good addition to it. But I'd rather play something else. Like, there's GTA, there's COD, I know you're a fan of Halo, and they all look like better games. So.
Yeah. Well, I recommend Halo. If you can find a deal on it, you should go for it, man. It's fast paced. It's fun. It has the ultimate skill based matchmaking in it. It has like these ranks.
Okay.
And if you're like me, who's like a silver, life is good.
Yeah,
life is good. Because
I played Halo 3, but that was before I had like Xbox Live and stuff, and it was pretty fun. I liked the campaign. It was it felt like a good time, you know. It could be quite a nice way to burn through a few hours with something different.
Oh, for sure. So let's talk about your videos that you just recently made. Like you just put one out today.
Yeah.
And
that's the weekend as well.
Okay, I just watched it. Like, what was it about? Like jogging
like Syria and like all the peace talks and stuff.
Oh, the peace talks. Do you think that's going anywhere?
I don't know. I hope so. It kind of depends how. I think mainly Russia and Syria, if like the two main parties on either side, if they are willing to negotiate and stuff, I think it could go fine. But if they are sort of like, we're going to do this or we're not going to do anything, it'll probably stop quite quickly.
Well, so how do you feel about Assad, the president of Syria?
It's quite a scary bloke. I mean, if he's got the backing of Putin, he's not going to be the nicest of men, I'd imagine.
Right.
I mean, is he a dictator or is he elected as?
Well, he's a president, I guess. I don't know. I didn't look it up, but okay. Well, all right. Syria has a problem besides just, you know, a leader that might be kind of mean.
Yeah.
it has a little religious problem with some of those people. I think they call them Muslims.
Fanatical Muslims. Yeah.
They are fanatical Muslims, ISIS, or sometimes
ISIS or
Obama calls it.
Call them, I don't know.
Obama calls them ISIL.
Yeah, Obama calls them ISIL. Our government here for some time called them Daesh or something like that.
Daesh, yeah, or Daesh, or whatever.
I'm just gonna. I think everyone knows them as ISIS, so that's just the easiest thing to call them, I'd imagine.
Yeah. Well, okay, so I don't know if the viewers out there are paying much attention, but this is an abomination. I mean, this is just what the hell is happening over there is just curls your fucking toes. It's like crazy.
It's horrible. I mean, I think quite a few weeks ago, like, someone beheaded his own mother because she suggested like that. It's just a really messed up way of looking at, I mean, the way they treat women, the way they treat the people they capture or whatever. It's just disgusting. It's medieval. You can put them back 1,000 years.
I mean, you fix Assad, man. You get steel cables and you fucking tie him around his goddamn nuts and you hang him from a fucking tree.
Oh, God.
No, he's not behind all this ISIS stuff. He's actually fighting against it with Russia's help.
So he says.
Yeah, who knows what's going on over there? But what we do know is they have established a caliphate, which, you know, al-Baghdadi is, you know, the caliph.
Yeah.
And they have goals of nothing less than taking over the world.
Which they won't do.
There's no way that's not going to happen.
It's just not going to happen.
Oh, and while I'm thinking of it, too, take Putin and hang him up the same way, only hit him with a bat in the head. Fucking pussy.
Yeah, but if it's Putin, we're going to do it with his shirt off so we can see his manly chest.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the like they're recruiting people. People from Europe are flocking to Syria to join ISIS.
It's weird. I think it's generally.
I want to die.
Jihad.
It's generally people from quite impoverished and uneducated backgrounds. Like, you go to certain parts of London, it's certainly by our standards, it's quite bad, sort of thing. Like, no real sort of education, they haven't got any money, sort of thing, and they get indoctrinated by quite corrupt imams, are they called? I think, like the
right. They get radicalized.
Yeah,
radicalized. So how many people from England are going there? A lot. The last time I don't remember the number, but it was like thousands.
Oh, I don't know. I think it's kind of hard to put a number on it, but we do hear like another person's gone to Syria, sort of thing, quite regularly. I mean, the first person she went with her son, who was like 2. She went with her son to Syria because she wanted to live under Sharia. Realised it's executed. So, I mean, we aren't taking a light stand on this. I think for all Britain's faults, we are trying to do something about this. Because it is our fault, partially, at least, that this is happening in the first place.
Why would you say it's your fault?
Well, Blair and that, and with like the Iraq War, it kind of just set off a trigger of events. I mean, obviously, I wasn't alive at the time. Well, I was like 3 when the Iraq War ended, but the Western influence in the Middle East has kind of seems to have caused all the unrest there. Certainly magnified it anyway.
Well, okay, so we took away some of the dictators that were maintaining like their iron fist kind of rule over
Yeah.
there. I mean, Saddam Hussein was controlling, Iraq in such a way that when we took him out and offered nothing in his place, it's like all shit went crazy,
Yeah, I mean, one good thing about the dictators was that they did at least keep order. I mean, it was horrible order, but there was some sort of order to it. But if you're gonna like upstage the establishment, you need to put something in its place that's gonna like the people are gonna like, instead of just saying, "Well, we've got rid of him now. You can do what you want."
Right. So some people would argue that you're claiming that that the West created ISIS.
Maybe. I think it's such a complicated situation. It's so out of hand. I mean, at school, I take like philosophy and ethics, and my teacher for that tried to explain it to us, and it's just such a complicated scenario. So many people not liking each other just because they're like a different type of Muslim or something, and obviously,
Right.
All hatred.
Yeah,
it's hatred.
Well, I don't know how much you can say the West and the U.S. Usually people say the U.S. created ISIS. We're responsible for ISIS. We contributed to an environment where ISIS could become strong, but it's like ISIS is not. We're not ISIS.
No, you didn't. I think you can't say that the West directly created it, but you can debatably say that we helped create the conditions in that it could happen. It's like with all the... I do agree with us bombing them now, but all of the chaos and stuff that the war there has created has bred the hatred for the West, because we are killing people, and just the hatred in general, really. It's quite such a complicated situation.
So the fact is that these people are committing atrocities on a daily, hourly, minutely basis. It's like on a level that hasn't been seen. I don't know. It's just revolting. Is it because of their religion, or is it because of like their disaffectedness? They have nothing else to turn to, or whatever. Like the argument that there's a term that's in use currently called regressives.
Right.
Okay, you're familiar with that?
Yeah, I think so. If you just run me over it, just to make sure I know.
Okay. So liberals, who are also would call themselves progressives, would argue that no, that's not Islam. It's not Islam. Those that's not true Islam. It's like they're not doing it for religion. Okay. They're doing it because they've been beaten down by and we've done all this bad shit to them, and they're just reacting. That's Islam is a religion of peace, man.
Well, yeah, I mean, you got to look at it like, any religion that stones people for doing things wrong, I mean, they're peaceful.
I mean, I think if you look in the Bible and stuff, though, that you see examples of the same brutality.
Exactly.
Okay.
I think it is them, they're taking their holy book too literally, denying the cultural change that has happened in the 1500 years that has passed since the Quran was written. It's not meant to be taken literally. It's like the Old Testament of the Bible isn't meant to be taken literally, most of it anyway.
Well, when it was written, it was meant to be taken literally, and when the Bible was written, it was meant to be taken literally. I mean, the Old Testament is arguably just as bad as the Quran as far as
they're very similar
atrocities.
in terms of the Old Testament, the Torah, and the Quran are all quite similar to each other. I mean, one way of looking at I think the creation story is one thing that can be argued that was never meant to be taken literally, in that it's almost like a metaphor. It's just a way of explaining things because you had no way of explaining them, sort of thing. But it's also when things are so different to what we're used to now, it gets so complicated in what is meant to be taken like this and how it's supposed to be interpreted and all this sort of thing.
Right. Okay. Well, if we had to follow, Christianity and Judaism, verbatim, I mean, you have to you have to do a lot of killing and stuff.
Yeah, women would have no rights. Gays would have no rights. According to like the Tea Party, someone who isn't white and Protestant, they have no rights. And it's,
but Christianity had a Reformation. Okay, so
yeah,
we live in a society where it's like we don't have Sharia law.
No.
Okay, we don't have like a theocracy where like some holy person is like actually, starting wars and committing, acts of, just these horrible things.
Yeah.
So that's what Islam needs. They need to reform to the point where they need secular democracies.
Yeah,
but they're nowhere close. Nowhere close.
I mean, if Islam was truly 100% a violent religion, like there's so many Muslims that if they all believed what people like ISIS believe, that a lot more people, like 99.99% of Muslims will be fine. But the two cultures are incompatible. Like the Western culture, what we deem to be acceptable, and a Muslim-run culture, blending them so everyone's happy is.
Wow, your mic just cut out. Whatever you just said, say it again.
Sorry, man.
Did you hear it, Flex?
It's kind of cutting out.
Yeah, it's cutting out.
Basically, I think the two cultures, the Western one that we are lucky enough to live in, and the East and the Muslim one, they're very incompatible.
Right. Well, it seems like they're living in the year 700.
Yeah, it's the Dark Ages all over again, sort of thing.
Well, I mean, okay, so Iran is a good example. Okay, before 1979, they were a Western-style country.
Yeah, I mean, if you see pictures of Afghanistan, of Iran before the Taliban or whoever or the revolution took over, they looked like really nice places to be, whilst now they look incredibly repressive, as you said.
Yeah, well, Iran now is the Islamic Republic of Iran, is what it's called now since 1979.
Yeah.
And women can't go out without their hijab. It's like
can't drive.
That's bullshit, man.
Yeah. I mean, it's quite fun. They have in their Air Force, they have women pilots, but women aren't allowed to drive.
Right. Saudi Arabia is an ally, a quote ally of the U.S. Okay, well they have oil.
Yeah.
so there are friends, but they live in a very strict Sharia law society. I mean, women aren't allowed to drive, of course. Yeah. They aren't allowed to go out anywhere without a male chaperone.
Yep.
And if they're raped, you have to have 4 eyewitnesses to put a rape charge against anybody. And usually, what happens if a woman there is raped and she tells anybody about it,
she gets lashes for it.
Yeah,
it's gone through one of the most traumatic things you can go through. Oh, we're going to whip you a bit, It's because you've done something wrong.
And if you steal, you have your hand cut off.
Yeah, it's a good deterrent, but it's a bit barbaric, Yeah,
it is a deterrent. Well,
you have some 6-year-old kid who steals a loaf of bread and he has to live the rest of his life without a hand.
Yeah, it's a lot harder. And the second offense,
you're dead.
you really can't steal anymore because you got no hands.
Mm. You know why that is, don't you? They all got the IQ of a fucking ping pong ball.
It's true.
It is, man.
Their execution rates are going up. They're supposed to be allies with the West and stuff, and yet the amount of people they've killed is like it's hundreds, I think, a year, debate even thousands maybe, and it's for the most petty of things as well. It's like it's not just mass murderers who are getting killed; it's people who've done.
Well, if you speak out against Islam, or especially if you leave Islam, it's called apostasy. If you leave the religion, that's like you're stoned to death, and they actually do that.
It's the methods of execution as well. I mean, I don't think you can say there's a humane way of execution, but at least with like lethal injection, it's supposedly painless, whilst the stoning someone to death, a kid was crucified, like a 16-year-old was crucified or something like that. And
they use crucifixion, they do beheading, they do stoning, and they actually do this in the year 2016. They're actually doing these things.
Yes,
but it's okay. It's their culture.
It's their culture. We have to respect their culture.
We have to respect their culture. I mean,
yeah. I think that is everyone's views on it. To be honest with you.
You can't criticize them. I mean, that's their culture.
If you criticize them, you're a racist. So
I want a new culture. I want to be the weed man, and I'll be the culture.
Yeah,
and we will win.
If you criticize Islam, then you are, you're a bigot. You're a racist.
If you criticize a Muslim for being Muslim, then that's totally different. But if you make a valid point about whatever Islam, Christianity, and it's true, that's not bigotry. That's just intellectual.
Here's something that might fix things a little bit. What are the head garb that the women have to wear? What's it called?
The hijab.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, why don't the men have to wear a hijab on their dick so we can see how big it is and make fun of them?
Yeah.
Yeah. Now there's stereotypes about different penis size for different racial groups.
Don't make me mad.
I don't know what the stereotypes are for Middle Easterners as far as dick size.
I don't know. You hear the one that I don't know, like Asian, Chinese, that sort of thing, have a really small dick, and then you've got anyone who's Western is going to boast about they have a massive penis, sort of thing.
All right, well, let's all whip them out. Everybody, unzip.
I'm not scared.
YouTube loves that kind of shit. It's like especially good to do it with 15-year-old dudes.
Stop
Flex, you and I are in trouble, man.
Yeah, we're always in trouble.
Yeah. So how did you get to be such a thoughtful, intelligent chap at such a tender age?
I don't know. I think I'm quite lucky that I matured quite early, but I think if you ask questions and stuff, to the right people, you'll get answers, sort of thing. I think it's quite a funny story, actually. When I was told that Father Christmas or Santa wasn't real, I sort of assumed that God wasn't at the same time, because he was some, like, this really mysterious, could be fake creature. I just sort of always ask questions. Like, if I want to know something, I'll ask about it. Like, so many people in my generation now, sort of thing, like, I might annoy someone if I ask this question. Whilst for a start, it's not true. And secondly, if it was, I wouldn't really give a fuck anyway, because I want to know.
Right. So how old were you when you found out that Santa Claus wasn't real?
No. That 8, 9, I'm not sure that sort of age.
Yeah, I think I was about the same age. Flex, did you believe in the Easter Bunny and Santa Claus and Tooth Fairy and all that?
What do you mean? No, I was like same age, like 8 or 9.
It's quite like I think it's like the appropriate time to tell him. It doesn't take away. The magic is sort of worn off, sort of thing.
Right.
Too, as you get older and you're getting more intelligent, you start thinking about it, and it's like,
yeah, there's like 7
who the fuck has got enough? Who's got enough money to have a shop up on the North Pole, chock full of elves, doing Lord knows what besides building toys, and makes it around the world in one night.
Like like some fat bloke can somehow fit down a chimney 7 billion times, sort of thing, to give it to these kids.
Well, it always made me wonder. It's like I grew up in a house we did not have a chimney, so
yeah.
How did Santa get in? We lock our doors.
Yeah.
Well, he
Magic.
he distributed toys around the world because he couldn't have any kids because he only comes down the chimney and it's only once a year.
Well, the real reason Santa couldn't have kids is because, he had previously had a raging case of venereal disease that left him sterile. Santa's in a lot of pain, okay? Let's just put it that way.
Santa has herpes. Yeah.
Of course, Santa.
Okay, so you are an atheist, or do you call yourself an atheist? Do you call yourself an agnostic? What do you say?
I'm quite atheistic. So for a start, people generally know what an atheist is, so that's easier to say. Whilst an agnostic is like a bit, people sometimes don't know what it is, so I just need to say like I'm an atheist, but I'd say I am anyway. So,
well, cool. Well, for the first time on Bulletproof Underwear, I'm going to admit that I am, in fact, an atheist and have been since I can't even remember when. I guess Santa Claus probably was about the time.
Yeah.
I'm on the fence.
That's all right. That's all right. Well, we'll win you over, Flex.
My part of me says to myself, there's all these religions, and everybody's religion says that their God is the only God.
Yep.
So, how can that work?
It's quite funny. Like the Christians, Jews, and Muslims all worship pretty much the same God, yet they kill each other have killed each other over who worshipped it in the right way.
Right, and Muslims are killing each other right now and they're all Muslims, but it's like, okay, you're Shia Muslim, I'm Sunni. Yeah. It's like we have to kill each other.
30 years ago, Christians in Ireland were doing the same thing.
Yeah,
it's true.
I mean,
yeah.
Harrods, the toy store in London,
right?
I mean, when that was bombed, and my mum was there when it happened, sort of thing. So it's like, so it's really? Quite a.
Your mom was there for an IRA bombing?
Well, I think half an hour before, or they could hear it and felt it, sort of thing.
Wow.
I think like 3 people died or something like that, which is 3 too many, sort of thing. It's
right.
Man, that's scary.
Mm-hmm.
So there's peace now. How did that come about? I'm not sure about the timing of that or what happened.
It was quite a. It's very like complicated. There's still a lot of friction. Most Irish
Northern Ireland, they're Catholic, right? Most
Northern Ireland are the Protestant ones. Republic are the Catholic ones. We generally aren't seen as Satan anymore in this country, but there are still people who hate England and that. There are still people who live in Northern Ireland who want there to be one island, but it's not enough. Like the IRA, I'm not sure if it's even still a thing anymore, but there aren't enough people who want change for it to ever come about, sort of thing. It's relatively stable.
Relatively stable. Well, you know what? Killing each other in the name of a god is the dumbest fucking shit.
Yeah.
Ever.
Love thy neighbour, so I'm going to shoot him in the head because he worships you the wrong way, sort of thing.
Right. So
worship me. Go kill that guy.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. Islam is a religion of peace. If you don't stop saying otherwise, I'll kill you.
Yeah. Pretty much.
Yeah. Well, so you're probably going to get, like, from this admission that you're an atheist, you're probably going to get a lot of people are like arguing with you in your comment sections.
I enjoy it, to be honest. I mean, like, one of the main reasons I started doing this, I enjoy making the videos, but one of the main rewards of it is any discussion that I get in the comments. I mean, mainly it's just mates taking the piss. It's like I think the one I did like 3 days ago or something. I had some guy comment on that, and that was like a really interesting point of view. I think I uploaded it on Thursday. No, I on the one like a good discussion with this guy on there.
Which one was that?
I think I just watched, and he was like just like it was about faith. I think.
Your video was it yesterday or the day before? Is like faith is toxic.
Faith is toxic. Yeah, it was that.
Faith is toxic. And you had the thumbnail of like the
It's
Christian,
really like retarded.
Said, don't be this guy.
Really pissed off and pointing at Jesus, and it says, "Don't be that guy.
Don't be that guy," or whatever.
Yeah.
So I put a like on that video, and then one of my people that follow me on Twitter put like, huh?
Yeah.
Because he happens to be a homeschooled Christian.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so you're wondering which direction he was going with that. It's like, well, I think he didn't expect me to put a like on a video of that kind. It's
okay.
Like, what? So yeah. So I'm sure that this episode right here of Bulletproof Underwear, we're gonna get some comments just because, like, yeah, Juice is an atheist.
We're gonna get comments.
Absolutely blow up off this episode because we talk about how we all like don't believe in stuff.
Yeah. Well, it just seems like, all right, whatever religion you happen to be is like the religion that your parents brought you up in.
Pretty much, yeah. If you're born if you're born in the Middle East, you're probably going to be Muslim. If you're born in the West, you're probably going to be Christian of some sort. If you're born in China, you might be Buddhist or whatever. I mean, it's kind of like arrogant to assume that because you were born in the right part of the world, you're going to heaven and the other people aren't.
And you're absolutely positively sure your God is right, but the Buddhist is absolutely sure, and the Muslim is absolutely sure. It's like, you're sure because you were told.
Yeah.
It's like, well, the thing is, we have a book.
Yeah.
We have a book. We've got the Bible. Well, they've got the Quran.
Well, I've got Harry Potter, so as far as I'm concerned, he's real, sort of thing. So.
Harry Potter.
Harry Potter.
I wonder if there's like a group that's trying to spread the word. It's like Harry Potter is a religion.
Yeah, there's this page that I like on Facebook called Atheist Jesus, and it is it's like satire basically about mainly Christianity, but other religions too, and it is just loads of funny stuff about, well, we have this, and this means that there's a God. Well, I have 7 of these. Or something like that. It's quite I have a book. This is real.
Yeah. Well, the thing about okay, so Islam is the latest, the last of the Abrahamic religions, and it only came into existence in like 700 something or
yeah,
whatever,
it's not. It's been around for like 1300 years, I think.
Yeah, so it's pretty recent. So going back in time, then you have Christianity.
Christianity is obviously like 2,000 years. It's found. I think Jesus was born in like 4 BC or something like that.
Well, there actually is a case that can be made that Jesus. There's actually no really solid evidence that Jesus actually existed. So,
yeah, I know, but 3 billion people, or however many people there are who are Christian, they all believe that he's the Messiah. I think. The problem is that he didn't actually do a massive amount. Like, the only proof we really have that is concrete, well, it's supposedly concrete, is the Bible. Like, we know that, Julius Caesar existed because he invaded loads of places in one sort of thing.
And he was written about from multiple sources.
Yeah, instead of his followers, sort of thing.
Right. Well, what we know about Jesus is written. Jesus never wrote anything himself.
No,
nothing.
he was I could have done, but
Right. So we have the Gospels. We have the
Yeah.
4 Gospels, which are all anonymous. Nobody knows. Okay, they call them Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, but scholars agree that they were not written by the people that their names are attributing
It's
to
hard.
them.
It's really hard. Like, they're relatively insignificant people from 2,000 years ago. They're going to be hard as hell to trace.
Right. Also, they were written a long
Yeah.
time after his death, like
Yeah.
40 years.
Yeah,
The
the
first
people
one
who-
was written 40 years after
Yeah,
he was
like-
dead.
The people who actually wrote the Gospels, one of them may have been alive, and he was like 10 when Jesus died. So it's all word of mouth. People could have exaggerated it, like, I don't know, turning water into wine. That could have been that Jesus like contacted someone and got them to bring wine along, but they didn't see, I don't know, the donkey that brought it. So
Right.
it got exaggerated. I don't know.
Right. And you have talking donkeys, you know,
And
or at least
when your
Yeah, where does
morals
that come in?
come from a book where there is a talking snake, I
right,
think-
talking snakes and talking donkeys.
yeah,
Islam has a flying horse, and
Yeah.
and Muhammad split the moon in two.
Well, then you had the Gospels read again later on by the modern group, which was, I believe, Paul, John, Ringo, and George.
Hey, they were bigger than the Beatles, or they
Yeah.
were bigger than Jesus. And
as John Lennon famously said, Christianity will die out, but the Beatles will live on forever. And that could turn out to be true. To be fair,
it could turn out to be two. Well, okay,
That's-
you know, the United States is a majority Christian nation for sure. It's like 70-something%. But
Yep.
every year they take these surveys. The fastest growing
It's going
group
down.
in the U.S. is the quote nuns. No practicing religion. Now, how many people actually cop to the term atheist or agnostic is smaller than that, but I think it's like it's a very I don't have it in front of me, but it's a very high number of people who have no religious affiliation.
Yeah, I think it's kind of getting to the. I think less people care now. To be honest, you get some people think, well, there's probably not anything, and I don't really give a fuck. I think
Right.
I've seen that happen with quite a lot of people in my generation, in that they're either a lot. For a start, if someone's of my generation is Christian, certainly from my experience, they're very casual. They'll go to church at Christmas, and that's about it. Whilst you then have quite a few people who aren't sure yet, which like at 15 is normal, really. And then you've got people like me who are very outspoken about how they think it's all a load of crap, basically. So.
Okay, so your parents, were your parents religious in any way?
They both were. I think Mum was until she was like early adult, and then she. I think both of them kind of think that if there is a God, he's an arsehole, so they don't really want to worship him in the first place.
So what faith did your parents have?
And they were both Christian. They were both quite. They were both very not very Christian. They were both. It was important to them, sort of thing, in their like adolescence. But they both kind of aren't interested anymore.
Right. Okay. So were you a person who went to church and Sunday school and religious school and all that?
Now, the primary school I went to. I mean, the way it works over here, we have education starts at sort of like bracket for like this. Okay, the year starts in September. I don't know how it works in the States. The year starts in September.
About the same. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, and like you go from the same school from the age of 4 to 11, and that school I went to was Christian, but it was sort of they accepted you if you weren't, sort of thing. And then the one I'm at now, it's technically Christian, but it's no type of Christian, and it's very culturally diverse. Like we'll have an assembly that we have a church. It's like a 3-minute walk away, if that. We'll have an assembly in there, and there'll be services and stuff. The services are optional, and the assemblies aren't actually about Christianity, if you know what I mean. It's more educational than preach.
Okay. So how well are you very familiar with Christian teachings? Oh, gee, I get a phone call here. Hang on.
God, that scared me. Turn that fucking ringer down.
Hang
I'm
on,
liking
that's
the
my
ringtone.
wife.
I'm liking the ringtone.
Hang on a second. Hey, Ann, we're doing Bulletproof right now, okay? Okay, thanks.
quickly, where did you get bulletproof underwear from? Just as a name.
Flex?
I found I was looking for banners for my Facebook page,
Right.
and I happened across a banner, and it had a guy running away, and it said bulletproof underwear.
It's a good name. It's a
and we're
very
the first-person
original name.
shooters.
It's a very original
Yeah.
name. I like it.
Well, a lot of people just call it BPU.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we like it. This show has been going on for well over 3 years, and we haven't missed a single episode. It comes out every single week.
It's impressive, man.
I know. We've had some pretty amazing guests. It's great doing the show. We get to talk to all kinds of cool people.
I'll imagine so.
Yeah, and you.
Drifter.
Just kidding.
We don't.
I
We
mean,
get to talk to cool
managing
people
to get
and you.
Drifter on this is impressive. That's
Yeah.
good, you know.
Friend helped us out with that.
Yeah, a friend helped us out, but I got to actually meet Drifter a
Did
couple
you?
of weeks ago. Yeah, he came into San Francisco. They were doing some promotion for Far Cry Primal, and
Okay.
the developer was.
That looks like a decent game, to be fair. I haven't played a
does?
Far Cry, but it does look quite good.
Yeah, so Drifter announced, very short notice that he was going to do a fan meetup. So I didn't know what to have him sign. So I happened to have this dog calendar, and so I brought it with me, and
You signed that? Fair
signed
dues.
that.
That's cool.
yeah, because he has a Shiba.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's kind of his dog type. So he's a real nice guy. He remembered doing the show, and he actually had some advice. He was telling us, Flex, that we got to put this on iTunes.
That's a good shout. You want people to be able to do it, like, not streaming it, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. We had like a 2-hour show with him. So he said, oh, yeah, we talked of many things and drank Monster.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah. I'm normally a Rockstar guy, but because he was sponsored by Monster, like Flex and I each were drinking Monsters.
Now after Flex had half of his stomach ate away from an ulcer, he doesn't drink any of that stuff.
Yeah, that's
That-
right. So
High caffeine, man.
speaking of high caffeine, that's a great segue. Yesterday, my package came from Amazon. One of the advertisers at the Super Bowl was a company I'd never heard of before. And I went on Amazon and I bought some of this.
Death Wish coffee.
De-
Okay. I'm
Death
guessing
Wish-
it's going to be quite strong.
Death Wish coffee. They build themselves, and it came with a sticker. It came with a sticker.
Right.
It's like they build themselves as the strongest coffee in the world. So
Could be
last night we had a cup, and I was like, "Oh my goodness!"
Make that
Woohoo.
Irish, and that'd be probably the strongest coffee in the world. That'd be.
Yeah, I have to say it doesn't taste super good. It's not deliciously good coffee, but if you drink a pot of it, you will probably have to go to the hospital.
Be flinging off the ceiling and shit. Boing, doing, doing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So are you a pretty healthy person? Do you
I
drink a
try
lot of
to be.
energy
Yeah,
drinks
I
and
do
junk
quite.
food?
I do quite. Eating. But I.
Okay, you're gonna have to repeat that because we didn't hear any of that.
Yeah,
What-
fair. Eating wise, I'm all right. I eat like healthy meals and stuff, but I snack a lot. Because like where my Xbox is and my cupboard are very close, sort of thing. So it's very easy
Ah.
to get up and get my stuff. But I do a lot
So-
of sport. I do quite a lot of sport. So
Oh, cool. Good to know. You're not just a nerd in the basement,
No.
getting fat on Cheetos and drinking Mountain Dew.
I try not to be. I think
So
keeping
so
it
what's
healthy
your-
is good, really important.
it is. What is your snack of choice? You said you snack a lot.
There's lots of stuff. I mean, certainly in the supermarkets we can get like little bites of stuff, so we can get mini chocolate brownies, mini like chocolate. A lot of them. I have a lot of Haribo. Yeah, that's mainly it. And crisps.
So you're a sweets guy.
Yeah, I sort of like to schedule it. I like to start off savoury with the crisps and stuff. Start with the salt, and then sort of move my way through to the Haribo, etc.
All right, all right. So getting back to this atheist thing, if any of you guys out there watching this video are, I'm sure you're getting all mad. It's like, how dare they? How dare they? Well, we would like to have you on the show. I would invite you to come on the show, and we'd be happy to chat with you.
That goes for anybody. If anybody wants to come on the show, come on, man.
Yeah. Anybody who's got an interesting opinion. Now, if you're somebody who wants to kill us,
I'm already dead, man.
If you're going to come on someone's show and be a dick, that's just not a cool thing to do.
That's true. Well,
And it'll make a bad show as well. No one will want to watch it.
No.
That's right.
Well, I go from 0 to dick in like 2 seconds, so
yeah.
they wouldn't get away with much.
That's okay, because I have the Sony Vegas edit tools at my disposal. So
How is Sony Vegas? Is it as good as people say it is?
it's what I use. It's I can make it do whatever I want it to,
Nice.
whatever I think in my head. I can make Sony Vegas do with just a few
Nice.
manipulations with the mouse.
I
So
mean-
what do you use to edit?
I got this thing from. It's called VideoPad Video Editor. It was for a start. It was on sale, so it was $39, which I think is like £25 version. Because obviously doing what I do, it doesn't need a massive amount of like editing and that. It's like by NCH.
Yeah.
It does anything too expensive without knowing it would be worth it, sort of thing.
Yeah. Well, when you're doing vlogs, you primarily just need to be able to chop a clip and reposition it and tack two clips together or whatever, I guess.
Yeah, it depends on the style, because obviously if you look at people like Skag, he does his scripted and that. I'm sort of doing, I want to talk about something and I'll just see where it goes. I could, at some point, I might try doing it different, but for now it's what I enjoy doing, so.
Yeah, well, go with what you're comfortable with.
Yeah.
Like Eddie the Chump. Okay, his are these fast cuts. He'll
I love
say
Eddie.
something
He's
and
good, yeah.
like there's a moment of space between each thing.
Yeah.
He obviously is editing a string of these things.
It takes
together.
like 6 hours to make, I think. It's a lot of time.
Yeah. Eddie is good. I've followed him for a long time. Back when he used to do game videos.
Yeah, he's just come back. He's doing a Ghosts RTC right now. He's on like his 6th episode, I think.
Yeah, I'm not watching it because I don't care.
Fair enough. I just sort of, I don't really care about. I care more about his reaction to the. I mean, did you watch his like Gamer Rage series?
I watched some. He does rage particularly entertainingly.
Yeah, I'd imagine it's partially put on, but I mean, I'm pretty sure he has admitted that it's not fake, but he's got himself into a mood where he is going to like go apeshit sort of thing.
Yeah.
But sometimes you can tell he's properly pissed off with that game sort of thing.
Yeah. Well, Skag somebody recorded a clip from his live stream and put it up as like a Vine or something.
Really?
And he actually did a controller slam. He called it a spike, spiked a controller.
Slam.
He threw the controller down on the floor, jumped up from his desk, threw the headphones on the desk, and like left the room, cursing.
We've all done it.
Wow.
Yeah.
I just did that about a month ago.
So Flex, when you throw a controller, do you throw it down or do you throw it across the room?
I
or
throw it
between?
into the wall
Yeah.
because I want to make sure that fucker breaks if I'm mad.
Yeah,
My
I throw it
problem
down.
Is that the Xbox One controllers are not cheap, so
I
can't.
I had to wait a month and a half before I could afford a new controller. So there you go.
I think it's kind of advisable to, for a start, not be near stuff that you could break by throwing stuff, and have something relatively
point.
soft, that like a cushion or like a pillow or something like that you can just sort of chuck across onto a wall.
Crash pad.
Well, the original Wii had the right idea. The
numbers.
controller came with the the rubber
Yeah.
pad around it, so if you threw it, it would just bounce.
Yeah.
You know, you got to get a rubber thing around your controller. Then you can just throw it at your leisure.
Yeah.
Just
Especially if you have a
slam
scuff. I mean, they're like they're like 100 over
They're like
100.
They're like
That's
over
like
$200.
Yeah, like I think they're like 160 quid, which that's over $200. So if you brick that, you're not in for a fun time, sort of thing.
Now, I tell you what you got to get, man. The Xbox
So the Elite.
Deluxe, the Elite controller, the motherfucker is the bomb. I love it, love it, love it.
How much was it?
It's $159, which is cheap compared to a scuff, and it's
Sure.
way better. I have a scuff, and this is way better.
I don't know. I've got Control Freaks, and they are pretty nice, but like, I wouldn't call myself good at games, really. I'll go from having like a period where I'll run at sort of like a 3 KD, and then I'll have a game where I run at like negative sort of thing. So
What's your
Black
overall KD right now?
on Black
for
Ops 3, I think it is 1.10, which honestly, it's not great, but it's better than average, so I'll take it.
Well, I have a 1.3 KD on Halo, but that's because I'm playing other silver players.
Yeah.
If I was playing the public at large, I would definitely be negative.
Really?
Like, silver is like there's bronze, silver, gold, platinum, diamond, onyx, and
Jeez.
pro.
Okay.
So there's so many levels higher than me.
I think on TDM, I run it like a 1.4. But the problem with Black Ops 3 TDM is that on most of the maps, people play like they sit with their LMG and they aren't moving. They're head glitching it like a barrel and they aren't moving. So you either have to play like that or you be good, sort of thing.
Right.
I mean, I don't know if you've seen any of did you follow Wings at any point?
Oh, yeah, I used to watch Wings. I don't watch him anymore.
I mean, whenever he uploads, he is the campiest fucker ever, and that is like half the people playing TDM. Sometimes it's not fun sometimes.
Well, one of our good friends, Mango, he's been on the show a few times. He is a proud camper. He is a proud camper. He is in a group called Camper Nation.
Yep. Know what you mean?
And can you imagine going into a lobby against these guys? The whole fucking team is
It's like
camping.
Second Mad Raj and all that crap. Like
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's his guys.
yeah,
Those are his guys. Those are his friends. He plays with those guys.
I do it to see if I want to do well, I'll get a gun that I can camp with. I'll do it for a bit. I'll get like a 6 or 7 streak, and then I think, unless you do really well, you sort of think I just got bored up. I'm tearing my hair out with boredom. Whilst I could have had like double the kills and maybe a few more deaths and a lot more fun if I'd used like an SMG and rushed sort of thing.
Right. So they'll take their dingo and they'll be playing domination, and they'll be like camped at the back of the map, and like they'll go 7-0. It's like if you divide 7 kills by the total duration of the game, it's like you sit around a lot waiting for those kills.
I ain't that patient, man. I'm a running gunner, baby.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. They've nerfed in Black Ops 3. They've nerfed the best rushing gun, and I'm quite annoyed about it.
Yeah, what was it? The VMP?
Nerfed that. Then it was the Vesper for a long time, and they've nerfed that. That's the one thing I don't like about Treyarch is that they nerf stuff instead of making stuff better. Like they'll take the Vesper in. You had to have some sort of skill to do well with it. And then they, instead of making everything else compete by making them better, they just make stuff worse. So it ends up being kind of frustrating in that it's more like my gun sucks than I'm not very good.
Poor Drifter, he has to play with every single gun that there is. He has to get all these clips.
Yep.
So he's
Making
using
that money out
wacky
of it,
guns.
though, so.
He's over 1 million subs
Yeah,
now.
he's doing well for himself.
Yeah, I started following him in the Black Ops original days, and he had 40,000 subs when I joined in.
Black Ops is such a good game. I've got it.
It is.
I sort of had a period where most of birthday to get it, so I bought Black Ops 1 and got one of the DLCs. I know what's on it. I think it was the one with the zombies map Call of the Dead. I don't know what his actual name is, but it was just fun. Like, it didn't have any of this bullshit death, this bullshit connection or anything like that. I thought, well, if I use this and I do this, I'll do well. And if you did do well, the streaks were good.
Yeah, they were very good. Blackbird chopper gunner dogs.
Yeah, pretty much. UAV and 2 kills with hardline, that sort of thing.
Yeah, UAV and 2 kills. Now that's
UAV with hardline now, well, the equivalent of is 4 kills, and is so easy to get shot down. The Hater, which is the Blackbird, is 12 kills and can get shot down. The equivalent of you had like the chopper gun. You had like not the chopper gunner, but like the attack helicopter that you didn't control. You had that, which is now 11 kills and can be shot down really easily. And it's just like you can basically get a slightly nerfed SAM turret as one of your things that you just carry around with you. It's ridiculous.
Right, it is very powerful. I when I play that game, I always carry that launcher.
Yeah,
because it's so effective.
And I got like the only stuff I have in Diamond is the launchers because it's so easy. You like destroy 100 of anything, which goes by like that, and then you just destroy a few other specific things, and you've got it in gold.
Yeah. Now, the original Ghost had one thing that was annoying as fuck, is they had second chance.
Second chance was a stupid idea in every possible way.
Yeah. You get a kill, and the guy, he goes down, and he has a pistol, and he can shoot you and kill you. And then later...
And then someone else takes your kill, more to the point. So
yeah, and then somebody can revive that guy. He's not even dead. You don't even get a kill.
I mean, I'm glad they've taken out the bullshit. Like, I didn't play MW2 or MW3, but I've heard stuff that, like, Dead Man's Hand, I think, was always a bit annoying. You had, obviously, The Last Stand. Noob tubes are less... There isn't a noob tube in Black Ops 3.
Right, there's not. There's not an attachment.
Yeah, and there's no right.
People used the noob tube in Black Ops 1. It was very...
It wasn't as good as it was in MW2, though. Like, I don't remember dying excessively to the
Right, it wasn't horrible. Now in Modern Warfare 2 they had danger close.
Yeah.
And they would have all kinds of explosives and just ridiculous.
The IEDs in Ghosts. Good God, they were horrible.
I know, the stupid.
Like, I get that campers have to have something. Like, I don't know. The bouncing Betty I didn't mind. You could go prone. So, like, and you heard it. C4 was a bit cheap, but it only detected you from one way. Shock charges are annoying. The new trip mine's really annoying because you can put it on like a vertical surface, so it shoots out that way. So that's really frustrating. But the IEDs, they were really powerful. You could have 2 of them, and you couldn't really see them unless you had like sit rep or something like that.
Right. I always ran with sit rep just because, for one thing, it told you where the enemy is. If you look across the map and you see a bunch of red stuff,
yeah.
Now I know where the enemy is.
Yeah. I mean, that was going to take you like 5 minutes to get to there.
That's true. Yeah.
Like, Ghost and Advanced Warfare really annoyed me in that they could both be fun, but more of the time they just really annoyed me than anything else. Like, you see clips of, like, this game looks really cool, you know? And then it's like, well, actually, this kind of... No, I'm getting killed by some guy who doesn't know what his left thumbstick is, and is just sitting with a thermal sight.
Right, thermal sights. Now, Halo. Halo is a game with no equipment.
Really?
There's no pieces of equipment. There's only your guns and your grenades. Okay, and your melee.
Right.
Okay, so everybody starts the match with the exact same guns.
Okay.
Okay, this is in arena. Okay, there's a Warzone mode that's more crazy with all kinds of stuff. But the competitive mode, arena, which is ranked, everybody starts with the same guns, and there's other guns on the field that anybody can pick up.
Okay.
There's power weapons like the sniper or the rockets or whatever. Whoever can get to them and get them, they've got them.
Okay.
So that's a pretty fair way to do it. It's
Yeah,
like
I think
you want the
it's
rockets, you have to go get those rockets.
Oh. Yeah. I think I watched another Eddie video, and it was his like 10 things for an FPS, and one of them was like to use like a sniper, you would have to get it as like a kill streak, and it's like these really overpowered weapons that on Black Ops 3 snipers aren't very good, by the way, but like if you go back on Black Ops 2, sniping was the easiest thing ever. The aim assist and all that, it was so easy. Random factor, so you don't get these, I don't know, 1080 trick shot wonder kids who go like 1 and 20 to get their clip for YouTube sort of thing.
Right.
It sounds like a more balanced thing. Like it forces you to use other guns.
Right. Well, when you have to pick up your power weapons on the map and your opponent could just as easily get it as you.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Yeah.
So I recommend that you try it out if you can.
Yeah, obviously like money and that, but I'll probably pick it up at some point. I mean, we're kind of coming into the time of year when nothing really comes out. Christmas is gone, all that stuff. So everything seems to come out October, November time.
Okay, well the Division is coming out. Are you planning on getting that?
I don't know. It looks good, to be fair. There's so much. But if I do get it, if I get one of these games, I don't do much for the rest of the month, money-wise, like going out with mates or whatever. So, I mean, Black Ops 3, I've got the season pass with that, but that game already has cost me £80 or something like that, which is
$110.
Yeah, it's a lot of money to spend on one game. So I'll probably get something that I want to get something I can play casually. Halo seems to be like a better option for like casual, because it just, from what you've said, it is more balanced and it's less sweaty, basically. So,
yeah, no. In Halo, you're gonna probably get your ass kicked, 12 ways to Sunday, because yeah, if you're not used to Halo, well, you said you played Halo 3.
I played Halo 3, but that was a long time ago, and I only ever played the campaign. You know how it is when you go from the campaign to multiplayer.
Right.
And obviously, I have some gun skill, but I doubt from Black Ops 3, obviously, from COD gun skill and Halo gun skill, I'd imagine are quite different.
Well, the big difference in Halo is the time to kill is much, much longer because you have shields.
Okay.
And you have to, like, a perfect kill in Halo is like, okay, yeah, let's say you have a battle rifle, which is a 3-burst gun.
Yeah.
You have to get at least 3 body shots and at least one head. The final has to be a headshot.
Okay.
You have to connect, and it shoots like bang, bang, bang.
Right. So
bang.
it's more about gun skill than positioning, sort of thing.
Well, positioning is important too. It's just that you don't just have to shoot them. You have to keep shooting them.
Yeah. Okay.
So you're engaged in a lot of these gunfights where people are moving around trying to outmaneuver each other, and like you want to kill the other guy, but you want to stay mobile so he can't kill you.
Yeah. Okay. It sounds like it could be a fun game, and I can always try it out.
Yeah, the strafe.
Yeah.
The strafe. I used the strafe a lot in Black Ops 2. I loved that
Strafing in Black Ops 2 was so good. I mean, it's less good in Black Ops 3. I think if it wasn't for Black Ops 2's hit detection, I think it would have been debatably the best COD. But you've seen, especially at launch, I've seen examples of when it was horrible. Like, someone would be completely around the wall and they'd just die.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, also, it's like there was weird things. If you were in motion, you would win a gunfight over a guy who was not moving. I saw videos to that effect. It's like they had some weird stuff where you'd get killed and you couldn't even see the guy yet.
Yeah.
But on his screen, he could see you.
Yeah. Having host on that game was horrible, man. It just didn't really work.
Right.
Had, like,
Lag
artificial
comp.
lag or something like that.
Lag compensation.
Yeah, the lag comp podcast.
Yeah. So I'm gonna have to send you a request here, and we'll play. All of us will have to play.
James, what about going to breakfast?
I don't know if you guys could hear that.
Yeah.
James, what about going to breakfast?
What time is it for you now?
It is 11:30 for me.
It's 1:30 for me.
Yeah, it's 7:30 in the evening right now for me. It's
Are
been.
we cutting into your Black Ops 2 times? Or are you gonna
No,
make
I've been
another
playing that
video?
all day. It's the weekend, dude. I've been playing that for like a long time.
Double XP, weapons and game.
Double XP, double weapon XP. I think I've just got a gun in gold. It's all good. I think I've got half an hour, so.
Okay. Well, it's just about as good a time as any. So could we get you back on the show sometime?
That'd be great. I've really enjoyed it. It's been such a fun time.
All right. So everybody, this is JD Talks. He's got a very interesting YouTube channel, and he's on Twitter. We'll put a link in the description to the channel and to the Twitter, and sub him up, man.
Cool.
Yeah, give him some subs.
Or if you're like religious and you want to hate watch him,
Go leave some hate.
can-
Go leave some hate on the
Yeah.
channel,
Yeah. All you Christians who want to hate watch, I'm sure you'll get plenty more of that in the future.
Oh, I enjoy it. It's quite fun.
Yeah. So I've been your co-host Yam Juice,
And I've been your co-host Flex.
and we would like to once again thank our special guest JD Talks. Yeah.
Thanks for having me on, boys. Been a fun time.
Yeah. So this is what we talked about earlier.
Yep, I think I know what I'm doing now.
All right.
All right.
It's been
That'll be
fun,
a good
boys.
one.
Thanks for having me on.
Look for it on Monday, and tweet it out and tell your friends.
I'm sure.
All right.
One thing left to do.
There is indeed only one thing left to do. Take us out, Mr. Flex.
Bye, everybody.